It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. You know, every once in a while, Frank Cannata on his Fridays with Frank will say something that gets me all excited. He'll say something that aligns very strategically with what I'm thinking. And, you know, last Friday he made a bold prediction, and I don't want to just repeat what Frank said. I want you to hear it from Frank's own mouth, because this is a fantastic prediction, and it does align with a whole lot of my thinking. Actually, it aligns with most of the industry's logical people and how they think, because it's a reality in the marketplace all around us. So without any further ado, I want to pull up Frank's bold prediction. You're going to hear it from his own mouth when I press this link. So listen, my friends.
Made a prediction. I said by 2023, as late as 2024, a manufacturer will announce we are no longer going to manufacture A3 MFP. Now,
we are no longer going to manufacture A3 MFPs. Frank's making a bold prediction that one of the OEMs will announce we're no longer going to manufacture A3 MFP equipment. Folks, this is not unlikely. I mean, it's the reality. The whole world's moving from A3 to A4. Frank's got a great vision there. He doesn't know who the OEM is. He didn't want to predict the OEM by name. So I thought I would do that. I'd finish the story. And I predict it's HP. That's why they're right in the middle. Think about it, my friends. Why not? You know, I could see Enrique Loris standing on stage sometime between now and 2024, providing he's still the president over at HP. But I could see him standing on stage and saying that back in 2017, HP made a bold prediction to disrupt the A3 marketplace, that $55 billion A3 marketplace. And I just want to tell everybody here today that we haven't been able to do that, so we're done. We're not going to do it anymore. We are out of the A3 MFP business. I mean, I could really see them saying that. I mean, does anybody remember the mop ear? You know, that mop ear came out in what? Like the 90s. That was HP's first attempt at A3 copying. Remember, they took the 8100 printer and they put a platen on top of it with a feeder, and you could make copies on the 8100 printer. Does anybody remember that? Boy, back in the 90s, print, copy, and scan, that stuff was on fire. People were printing all kinds of stuff, scanning all kinds of stuff. But yet, for some reason, the mop ear never really gained any momentum, and HP canceled the program. And recently, I mean, here is the article. We just saw this article out of Germany, right? HP says goodbye to page-wide printers. You know, remember the A3 page-wide ink-based printers? We're going to disrupt the marketplace kind of with that stuff. Well, I guess they didn't really disrupt the marketplace, so they canceled that program. Of course, once they canceled that program, they had to start telling people, no, we're doubling down. I mean, we're still into A3 laser. Folks, I imagine that they'll do A3 laser. People will still print, you know, 11 by 17. They'll still have to do some of those applications, very few of them. But I can really see them canceling A3 MFPs. Absolutely, I can see it. I can see it as clear as day. I mean, they're not gaining a whole lot of momentum, right? You know, you got a dealer world out there that's questioning this Amplify agreement, you know, the data grab or whatever it is for discounts. So their history, HP's history, is to cancel the programs that don't really work out for them. Well, it's just a matter of determining whether this is working out for them, and how are they defining whether it's working out for them. Because they don't really share those details of those numbers. Never have. HP, you know, they put together some nice financials, but they don't dig down deep and really analyze what they're doing in that space. Like, how much of that $55 billion marketplace do they actually have after 4 or 5 years? So, but you know, the reality of it is all these OEMs are going to have to make some changes in the products they make. And I don't believe it'll just be HP that'll cancel the A3 laser by the year 2023 or 24. I want to say that a couple of times, because then HP can go on, you know, another outlet, or they can start writing articles about how important A3 laser is to them. And they understand the importance of A3 laser into the marketplace. And they understand the importance of A3 laser with their dealers. But what they really won't say is unequivocally that they won't cancel the program. They'll just say things like how important it is. You know, we've kind of seen that with some other OEMs. You know, I think, you know, when I talk about, like, you know, we're going to get rid of our direct operations, and then someone will squash the rumors. Oh, no, we're not going to get rid of our direct operations, even though they're getting rid of their direct operations. So anyway, there's a lot of things out there that are going to change in the marketplace. And we have to have the ability to not only talk about them, but actually look at how these changes will affect us in the marketplace. You know, The dealers out there and the mega dealers out there, you can't just wait for the OEMs to decide what's good for them. You have to start deciding what's good for you. You have to start deciding how are you going to align with people that'll help you deliver products to the marketplace that are relevant for your end users. Because it doesn't matter what any of these OEMs think about A3. It really doesn't matter. It matters what the end users think. And more of them are going to start buying A4, and I've talked about this before. You know, these OEMs just provide the means to a desired outcome. That's all they do. And when less and less people buy the product, they have to make a change. And so Frank is spot on. I too agree that a major OEM will come and make an announcement that they are no longer going to manufacture A3 equipment. I'll go a little bit further and say I believe it to be HP. But they're not the only ones. They're not the only ones. And another one of these OEMs could beat HP to the punch. I'm thinking about our friends over at Epson. You know, Epson makes some production inkjet A3 equipment that I hear a lot of people like. But are they doing any home runs in that B2B space? In business applications, in business MFP applications? I don't think they're going to hit a whole big home run in that space. Because I've always predicted this. I believe that businesses will print less and less color. They're not going to print more color. They're going to keep color behind glass. And so, you know, if you think about it, if businesses aren't going to print as much color, then whether it's ink or laser, A3 color MFPs in offices could go by the way, right? We could see more and more of those go away as people replace them with A4 black and white MFPs. Of course, none of the OEMs want to hear that because, you know, color toner is a lot more expensive. Color toner brings them more revenue. But again, if you look at the realities in the marketplace, it doesn't really lead me to believe that people are going to pound out a whole bunch of business color documents. So these are a lot of things to think about, but I appreciate Frank. I appreciate when Frank does his Fridays with Franks and talks about things that are really making our dealers think, because that's what we need to do as an industry. We need to think about how things could be based on why they should be that way. And when we do that, we'll come to logical conclusions. Because everybody knows this. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll see you.